get started. So thank you all, everyone, for joining us for our 15th anniversary celebration. I have my beautiful, lovely wife, Natalie, here. Natalie's a big part of the company. She's usually sitting and watching or logged in remotely or on the other side of the camera. She's joining me on this side of the camera.
So children.
So I'm really excited about that. Welcome, Natalie. So before we get started, for the last month, we've really been, celebrating our 15 years. We had a lot of marketing materials to highlight this accomplishment. This is one that our website company had put together for us. They said, we think this is great, and it kind of, showcases your journey. And a lot of people commented that they liked this, and I liked it as well. And then I was looking at it the other day, and I thought, who are those people in the top right-hand corner? I looked at it closely, and somebody from JustTech. So they obviously accidentally picked the wrong company's photo to put in there. Or maybe they didn't think we looked nice enough. I don't know, but it looks pretty good, whoever those people are. Also, Lucas has been doing a lot of stories for school research projects. Yesterday was spider monkey. I learned more about spider monkeys than I ever knew. And he updated his author profile on his school's program, and you can see it here. Starts out, my name is Lucas Justice. I'm the owner of JustTech. I'm in 3rd grade at Claremont Elementary School. He told me it was official. He had already submitted his work to his teacher and that I couldn't change it. So Lucas is taking over JustTech. So here's how today is going to go. Natalie and I are going to talk about the different moments of JustTech. We're going to thank you all for being part of it. If you have something you would like to say as we go along, please speak up. At the end, we'll give anyone and everyone an opportunity to say something if they would like, or share a moment. But let's start out at the beginning in Waldorf, May 1st, 2006. We were formed as Southern Solutions. I took the picture on the left the day we moved out of that office, a little over 5 years ago. And we served Charles, Calvert, and St. Mary's County in Southern Maryland. I became a Xerox agent owner, selling Xerox products when I was 25. Watch the table, buddy. So 25 years old. And it was quite a journey. Here is our staff that was with us please stop pushing the table, buddy. Here was our staff that was with us from the beginning. You see me and Travis in sales. You see bottom right is Margie Rapkin, our operations manager. You see Natalie and myself. You see Steve, who was our first Xerox analyst and was a contractor and worked with us in full time for a while, for about a total of 5 years. And I'm pleased to say that the surprise guest today is Steve Wagner. Steve's on the call. Steve, how are you doing?
I'm doing well, Josh. How are you?
It is so great to hear your voice. I don't think we've spoken a year. We've kept up pretty good over the last 10 years, but it's great to hear your voice. And look at your kids. Kira.
Yeah, I know. They tower over me, man. 15 years has not been so kind to me. Look at me. I'm a mess. I've lost my hair. I thought it was tough working for you, but nah, these kids put me through the ringer.
Steve was with us. He left. His family moved to Florida. They relocated, and that was when he left. JustTech, big part of our company. We have so many fun stories together in the beginning. And Kira was like 3 or 4 when we started the company, and Nathan, I think, was born that year that we started the company.
Nathan was born on the day you opened for business, because it was the day I was supposed to open for business, and he made me postpone. I had to be there for his delivery.
Oh, wow, the first JustTech baby. Congratulations. Yeah, that's great. That's great. I'm so happy, and I'm so happy things are going well for you down in Florida. And Steve, I don't know if you remember another Steve story. I don't know if you remember, but during the month of May, when we both started our new companies, you invited Natalie and I to go out on your boat in the Chesapeake Bay. And here's Natalie and I 15 years ago on Steve Wagner's boat in the Chesapeake Bay. And it was remember, it was kind of rough that day. It was wind. Yeah, it was rough that day. And Steve took us to the bay. Steve took us to the Bay Bridge, and I was taking pictures of it. And Natalie, who's from this area, is like, "What are you doing?" And I'm like, "It's a historic landmark." And she's like, "What?" And I'm like, "Let's take a picture with the Bay Bridge behind us." And I think she called me a dork. I don't know. She still dated me after. We haven't been dating that long, but we got a picture in front of the Bay Bridge that she just thought was ridiculous. But that was a fun day, Steve.
It was a great time.
So Steve Wagner, and he's part of some more memories.
I just have to either hear or see it, but not both.
For the first 4 years, you know, we were mainly focused on selling equipment. Mainly focused on selling Xerox equipment. You know, when the recession hit and prices kind of went really down, it really hurt financially if you're just a sales company. So we started focusing on providing services, recurring services, print services. We started managed IT services and really expanding. And we also started growing employees as well at that time. You see Ed Warren, who joined our team and was with us for 12 years. Michael Eaton, who joined our team then. Rusty, Steve was still with us, and Kathy as well. And I forgot about Kathy Stevenson, but she was with us for a year. In December 2010, as part of our new approach to be services-led, we decided that we were going to go into each county that we support and do a luncheon, sort of like a lunch and learn. We did lunch. Ed played his guitar. And we shared information about the new services we provide to the companies in Southern Maryland. Now, one person wasn't too happy about that, about having to come to support this. He told me at the time that he had tickets to Maury Povich, and I thought he was joking. But, you know, Michael Eaton actually had tickets to Maury Povich, and I needed his help at this event to pull it off, so I asked him not to go. It's the only time that I have told someone they couldn't take a vacation day. Michael, are you over this yet? I know you kept bringing this up for years. Michael, you might be on mute.
No, I'm still not over it.
One day we'll go to Maury together if he's still out or on a reunion special. I don't know. Back in 2011, you know, I was looking for exposure for the company any way that I could. You know, I was doing interviews, just trying to get our name out there more and more. I saw where the Charles County Commissioners were doing a green symposium and for local businesses to showcase what they're doing to be, you know, increase their environmental sustainability. So I signed up and I went to talk about Xerox's exciting new product, Color Cube. Remember that then kind of went bust a couple years later, but I went to talk about it and show the solid ink and show how it had no packaging, it decreased the carbon footprint, you know, you could write with it. And when I'm giving the presentation to the president of the commissioners, I said, it's non-toxic, you can even lick it. And she licked it on camera. My face is like, wow, because 50 people have touched this thing, you know? So that was a crazy moment for me, for sure. That's the only time I've been on public television, I think, but it was a great story. You know, Alex joined our team the month Lucas was born in 2011 in October, and then in 2012 we celebrated 6 years. I would always have our small team do different things for different moments to kind of highlight them because we didn't have a huge marketing budget. Margie used to tell people when they on their first day, I hope you like getting your picture taken because Josh is going to take a little off here at JustTech. You know, in 2012, we really started pushing A4 products, and the 6180 was Xerox's leader, you know, in the A4 space for color products. And Michael Eaton and Mike Clark decided to take a 6180 to Michael's house and to put it in different scenarios for a marketing campaign around the 6180 can do anything. So you can see here we have the Xerox Phaser 6180 cleaning a toilet, the Phaser 6180 making a pizza and cleaning the floor. We also had, I think, one that was changing clothes in a washing machine. There was all sorts of stuff. It was a great memory. We got a lot of great feedback when we started this campaign. In 2012, we relaunched our website to be more services focused. We did a photo shoot. I had to talk everyone into doing the photo shoot. Nobody wanted to do it at first. Maybe Michael. No, they were like, no, this is crazy. But we did a photo shoot. You know, we had fun with it. We took a different picture for every month of the year, and then we used these pictures for the next 3 years, I believe. Margie's idea was for us to hold her in one, which turned out really well. Someone commented on this picture, you should change your company name to 6 Men and Margie, which wasn't what I was going for, but it turned out pretty funny. You know,
that was a fun time.
We started creating videos and sharing videos with more people, and this really, really started growing. Alex and Margie and I did some videos in 2012, and Margie and I in 13. I did in 14 and 16. Usually as new products or services come out, we would refresh our videos, and Jerry's done them for several years now, the newer videos. Michael's also done a lot of training videos for an Anyway videos. Jerry's also done a lot of videos where he just did the narration. Really great stuff. And we were doing product videos before Xerox did product videos. In 2013, I remember Michael telling me that CDS had our videos running on their YouTube and website because it was something new. And now, you know, this is one of the main ways that people communicate. And our video views have had almost 1 million views since we started. And I told our team that we either need to keep talking about ourselves and our company because we can't afford to wait for other people to talk about us. So that kind of led our effort in the early days. And speaking of videos, we also did, you know, videos that were mock-ups that I scripted that were very popular, and I pulled up one from the past.
Yeah, I remember this.
Making your way in the world today takes everything you got. Taking a break from all your worries sure would help a lot. Wouldn't you like to get away? Sometimes you wanna go where everybody knows your name. And they're always glad you care. You wanna be there for your a couple times on the day. You wanna be there, everybody knows your name. You wanna go where people know, people are on the same. You wanna go where everybody knows your name.
That was a great video. Michael filmed that. You saw Clay and young Mike Clark, and Clay, who doesn't age, he's like Brad Pitt in the video. I scripted it, and then Natalie, you edited that, didn't you? I think you edited that video. Good time. So in 2013, we were really picking up steam. We got the 1 million prints under management. We were excited. We celebrated at the Loyola Crab Feast. Clay joined our team. Eric had joined before that. And yeah, this crazy bunch. I think I was thinking, let's just take this picture. But it was fun times. In 2014, I was invited to go to New York City as a group of Xerox partners for Xerox's Simple at Work global event. And at that event, JustTech, or Southern Solutions at the time, received an award from Xerox for they were, you know, very excited around how we embraced A4 and how we were doing other IT services. And we won the award for Best Innovative Business Model. And, you know, to look back at where we were then versus now, it's been an incredible journey. But we were getting highlight for it by then. This is also when I first heard about apps. I sat in a presentation about apps and about how apps could be the future. And they were going to take partners to sign up that wanted to become developers. They said they were only taking 5, and, you know, spots were limited. I talked to Michael. Michael said, this is awesome. And I know you remember this story, Michael. We really got kind of stressed out over the interview. You know, we weren't sure. They said they were looking at development companies and larger companies. They're only taking 5. They're only taking 5. And then we got a call that we were going to be in the first class. And we were so excited that Xerox thought enough of us that we could get involved in app development. And then Michael texted me on the first day of class and said, only 5 applied. So I guess it was right place at the right time, but it was still a great story. As you can see, in 2014, our Christmas dinner, we had new employees there. This picture, I think, was 3 weeks. Is that right? Before Landon was born. Yeah, with Natalie. So maybe 2 weeks. Yeah, because Landon came early. So it was right around that time. In 2015, the apps kept getting more and more attention, both in the States and globally. I got a call from an aide for someone in Rochester, and they said Xerox Corporate is just looking at what you're doing with the apps. And, you know, we haven't done a whole app direction at the Xerox level. So we'd like to send some people down to talk to you about what you're doing with apps. They said there'll be someone coming down from Rochester and someone from France. And we're like, what? So they came down to talk to us. They were about 30, these two gentlemen, they were about 30 minutes early. And, you know, our office in Waldorf was not in the best part of town. And I look out the window and they're walking into, I think it was Hammerheads, one of the bars that was nearby. And I thought, why in the world are they going in there? Like, great, these people are going to get robbed, or, you know, this is not good. It was kind of sketchy. And so Lee, who was our Xerox channel business manager, went over, and the gentleman from France wanted a cup of coffee. So the bar didn't have any, so they had to make a pot of coffee. And then he came back, they gave it to him in a plastic cup. And I tried to explain to him that this is not a reflection of America. You know, this is kind of like a bad part of town and not somewhere you would go for a cup of coffee. But they were just interested in what we were doing with apps because nobody was doing that at that time. Around the same time, I got this picture from Tim Stanley of one of his reps taking a selfie with one of our apps because he was so excited to have something different in an app on a machine. And that was when Michael and I kind of knew that, like, this thing was really taking off. In 2016, we made an agreement with Xerox to distribute the firmware app, the Firmware Connect app, to all U.S. partners. Our growth really accelerated then. We used the funds to hire Marshall full-time as a developer, to invest in our managed IT services, to bring up capability. And I remember when Xerox was making the announcement in Vegas, Michael, I know you all, Eric, you remember this, I had to catch a plane the next day, and they wanted me to take a USB stick to hand out to all the partners with the firmware app. And we were all in the office late on Friday trying to finish this so I could put it in my suitcase and take it with me to Vegas. It was a great story of how everyone kind of came together because they saw the importance. In 2016, we also moved to a larger office in Southern Maryland. You see a lot of more new faces here. Jerry was our 10th employee just 5 years ago. Matthew, Sarah, Aubin, Curtis that came on board a year or so before that. More new people. We were really growing at that point. We also celebrated our 10 years 5 years ago at the Blue Crab Stadium. You can see everyone here. Also, you see Lucas there with Mike and Natalie and I at the game. In September, we got together, as we usually do it with the Maryland team, at the little Crab Feast, and we have even more new people here, as you can see, as we kept growing and expanding kind of rapidly. In 2016, we began providing full-time and part-time IT staffing services. This is something that we still do today. We have 5 or 6 contracts for full-time or part-time IT staffing. Jose, who I believe is on the call, Candace, you know, we don't see them too much because they're always at client locations. And then our IT team also takes part in the part-time IT staffing positions, but it was a big source of growth. In 2016 late, that was a big year. In October, we had our first trip to London, first of several. Xerox asked me to go to London with them as they launched apps in Europe to talk about our apps, and they said there could be business for you as well. Natalie and I went for, how long did we go? A week? 2 week and a half? Yeah. Yeah, a week and a half. And we toured London first. My wife is in love with the Royals. We're fascinated.
In love.
So we toured London, saw just about everything, and then I went to the 2-day summit to tell people in Europe about apps. And I remember the first meeting, they had their hands crossed. They were like, why is this American here to talk to us about our established businesses? You know, the buy-sell channel has been in Europe for 40 years. Our companies are so much bigger. We do solutions. Why are you here? And, you know, people were very just standoffish. I gave my presentation, and afterwards people started saying, yeah, I can see that. And I made some really good connections. We made 5 new clients for our Support Connect app and Firmware Connect apps that trip. You know, and we started communicating with European partners more on our apps and solutions. It was a fascinating trip. In January of 2017, Xerox invited a few partners to come to New York as they rang the bell and started the day. And I wanted to share this because this is one of those moments I'll never forget. You know, my extent of my experience with this, you know, the stockroom floor was the Eddie Murphy movie with Dan Aykroyd. I'm trying to remember what it was called. Trading Places, something like that. But yeah, but they still act like that, you know, with people buying and trading. A lot of it's electronically, but there's still maybe it's for show, but there's a lot of live trading. But that was an incredible moment. In March of 2017, Xerox invited me to come to help them launch apps in Canada. It was the same experience as in Europe. The partners thought they had no need for apps. And then when I finished, they started getting more interested in apps, and we picked up several clients that we still work with from Canada from then. Next month, I'm part of a team that's launching apps in South America. I was already told by a Xerox person to expect pushback because they don't need apps in South America, but you know, this will be the 4th continent I've launched apps on, and I've heard the same story, but I'm excited about that and our growth in that area as well. So Beth Markham, in 2017 in April, we did our first acquisition of Peak and rebranded to JustTech, a name that was more suitable for more than just one region. So Beth, what do you think? How's it been in the last 4 years?
It's awesome. It's the best decision I ever made. It's been not just good for me, it's a win-win. It's great for my customers. We can offer them so much more, provide better service, get away from, pull things away from the corporate Xerox and bring them under us. Truly the best decision I ever made.
Well, thank you. Thank you. And we love having you and Heather and Lisa and Brian, and we've either doubled or tripled staff since then, moved to a bigger office that we'll talk about in a minute there. It was great. And this was also great because they covered southern West Virginia, southeastern Ohio, and eastern Kentucky. And I grew up in southern West Virginia. So I made many trips to that office where I can visit before COVID, visit family as well. And it was great to have a presence and friends, yeah, as well. So that was, it's been great. And we look forward to coming back out to all the offices as we come out of COVID. In April of 2017, Xerox, there's some funny stories with this. Xerox invited me to come to New York City and to London, back-to-back trips in a week, as they had their largest product launch ever at their Future of Work event. So Natalie said, why don't I come to New York with you and bring the boys?
And my cousin too.
And your cousin. It was a trip you'll never forget, for sure. We toured around the first 2 days. The first day, our kids really liked Home Alone. And you went to the hotel, the Plaza Hotel, and they went, when I was doing something with Xerox, to the Plaza Hotel, and they were walking around, and the doorman asked if they wanted the Home Alone tour. And even though they've updated it since then, they showed the kids where the scenes in Home Alone take place. He then asked if they wanted a copy of the DVD.
They gave us a DVD.
And what did Lucas say when he asked if they wanted a copy of the DVD that was played there of Home Alone 2? Didn't he say, I have it on digital or something?
Yeah. And then he was excited because he got to use Kevin, or he thought he was getting to use the same toilet as Kevin from Home Alone when he used that.
So, yeah, it started on a high note. And then on the second day, Landon got sick, stomach bug, and must have picked it up on the plane and threw up everywhere. So, yeah, it was bad. So when we checked in, you know, we had a large room with 2 beds, not a large room, a small room with 2 beds. And I called downstairs and said, hey, can we upgrade? I mean, because this was a very nice hotel. And they were like, sir, you know, hotel rooms are smaller in New York. This is the biggest room. And we're like, geez, this is kind of cramped. So once Landon threw up all over the carpet, we got upgraded to upstairs to the concierge level, and there was a big room. Yeah.
To clean the other room.
So while I'm doing Xerox stuff, Natalie's moving our furniture upstairs. I come out and I'm like, wow, look at this big room we got now. And she had been through it with trying to clean up everything. So then 2 days later, I get sick and I get the stomach bug. So they're touring New York and I'm just sick in the room. So we then had to fly back to DC so I could catch a flight that night to get to London. I hadn't eaten like 3 days. I couldn't stop throwing up. We're landing at Reagan. It was a rough landing. I remember it was bad weather. And as soon as the tires hit the runway, I unbuckled and ran to the back. And the stewardess is like screaming at me because you're not allowed to get up, you know, until you get at the gate. And the captain stopped the plane. And I got so sick back there. And she was like, you're in trouble. You can't get up, you know, and all this. And I'm like, I am so sick. So I didn't get arrested. I thought I was going to get arrested because they singled me out. The pilot said, hope you feel better. But then I got on the plane to London, hadn't ate a thing, got to London 2 days early, was just laying in the hotel room. And then I walk in on the third day to do my Xerox presentation, and Rui from Xerox goes, you look like you lost weight since last week. I'm like, yeah, it's been quite an experience. So, yeah, that was something I'll never forget. And, you know, getting interviewed and to speak to all these press people in the U.S. and Europe, it was the first time that I had done that. But, yeah, it was a good memory. In July of 2017, after years of discussion and consideration, my father joined our team and moved the family up from Louisiana to Virginia. We were very excited about that. My dad has taken so much off my plate, done so much more. We wouldn't have been able to get through the last 4 acquisitions without Dad. He has handled most of that. And we're just so happy to have him here. It's been so great to work with him every day. He's supposed to be part-time. Anytime he tells me he's out, I'm like, oh, part-time, reminding him of that. But we're so excited that we've had Dad here. In October of 2017, we did our second acquisition with Apple Valley Office Products. They had offices in Winchester and Stanton. This was the middle point between our furthest region in Huntington and Southern Maryland. It really made a lot of sense. We gained a lot of great new team members, including Stephanie and Gary here. And we've integrated with them very well, just like with Peak, and gained more Xerox clients, managed print clients, and managed IT clients as well. We received our first national recognition in 2017 in November when we were recognized on CRN's Next Gen list. This is the 200 fastest growing solution providers with less than 20 years experience. In January of 2018, we had our first 3-day in-person joint sales workshop with sales reps from 4 offices coming. It was great. It turned out extremely well. We learned a lot from each other, and we got to know each other even better. In the fall of 2018, we became a Xerox Master Elite Accredited Managed Print Services Partner. This is the highest accreditation that you can get from Xerox. Very excited about that. We were honored. You can see on the left was a team meeting across all of our 4 offices. This was the La Plata group dialed in. Top right, this was at a Xerox Managed Print Services training in Cleveland that our team had went to. And the bottom right is when Andrea, who I believe is on the call, came to give us our accreditation plaque in Southern Maryland. Good memories. In the fall of 2018, we did another 3-day sales workshop. We had more team members that come on board since then. We had just made a deal with Jen's company for acquisition, and she joined as well. It was really a great time. I know you're excited about this, or you have been excited about this one. In October of 18, we acquired Document Solutions, and Bob and Jen and Kenny and Sean joined our team. We've been growing in the region since then. We've added several managed IT clients, several more coming, a lot of great stuff. And this was also important because it connected our Huntington region to our Winchester region. This is also where we got married and where we graduated college and where we still go back to football games, at least before COVID.
Hopefully soon.
Hopefully soon, yeah. Morgantown. Where I was from Southern West Virginia, and now it was from Alexandria, Morgantown was the central point for both families to come for the wedding. So it made a lot of sense and a lot of great memories of Morgantown. What do you think, Jen?
Best, I echo what Beth kind of said. Best decision we made, allowed for us to grow and really get to the next level. I saw actually last night before our softball game, Maddie and I were in our shirts, our JustTech's shirts, and I saw our mutual friend, Mikey Higginbotham, who said, "Hey, JustTech." And we talked about you and Natalie with him and his wife. So it's pretty funny.
Oh,
Yeah, good friends of ours. He lived with me for a while. Great person. And if you haven't seen it, check out our Facebook. We've sponsored Jen's daughter's softball team. We are the JustTech Jaguars. It's the first time I've seen our logo in pink, but it looks really good, and we're glad to sponsor that. So also, as part of the new team coming on board in Morgantown, we also got an employee who is a doppelganger for Adam Driver. I mean, look at this. Sean Doherty, when I first met him in Morgantown, I said, "Has anyone ever told you look like someone famous?" He's like, "Yes, all the time." I'm like, "The guy from Star Wars?" He's like, "Yeah." I'm like, "Kylo Ren?" He's like, "Yeah." They tell me all the time. I swear they're twins. It's really uncanny how much they look alike. And I think you should be him every Halloween. Sean, I do. In November of 2018, we were recognized for the second time on CRN's Next Gen list. We also had Sean Vitato join our team in Huntington to support our growing number of managed IT clients, and we kept getting bigger. In November of 2018, I made my third trip to London, the last trip that I've done there. We went, and this time everyone was talking about apps. They had 10 other local partners who started creating apps. Everyone was very warm and friendly, much more than before, and everyone was on board with apps. And I was the only American there and still felt like sort of like the outsider, but it meant a lot when they voted for best app from the showcase, and this is all European partners. Our Firmware Connect app was still voted the best app, and that was pretty incredible, and that was a pretty incredible feeling. In December of 2018, I'm sure you all remember, the Charles County Chamber called and said the company that's doing the annual holiday party for the chamber backed out. We need help, or we won't have a holiday party. So we said, yes, we'll host it. And our team jumped in, and Leslie and Eugene and Sarah and pulled this off. And we had hundreds of people in the La Plata office from the community. You can see some pictures here with Michael and Lucas, and Lucas and Landon, you did a great job. It looks like they're wearing the same thing. And Dad looks like he's saying something very smart to Clay, and Clay's saying, yeah, about right. And then you see Jerry and Sarah as well. Eugene made these great JustTech cookies. I still use these in marketing materials, the pictures around the holidays.
Hey,
In the
Josh,
winter
that was Clay's.
Oh, Clay Sutter made those. I thought Eugene made those. Oh, sorry. Eugene's made
He made the
several
cake.
things. Sorry.
She made
Yeah.
the cake.
Sorry.
Another time.
Clay, your daughter did a great job. Much appreciated. I still use those photos. In the winter of 2019, we opened the new JustTech office in Huntington to accommodate, just the ongoing growth and continued growth in that region. In May of 2019, we celebrated 13 years. And Eugene, you did make this cake, right?
Yes, I did.
And you can see some of the La Plata staff on the left. Also on the top right, some of JustTech members that attended training in Cleveland for Manuscript services. You see Jerry and Brian and Jen. Also, Bonnie came on board with us. Bonnie is a field tech and does an amazing job. Also, Thomas came on board with us in the bottom right. Works with Frank, who's been with us 4 years or so, and Frank's done a great job working and training Thomas as a technical analyst. Great members of our team. In December of 2019, seeing a need for a more affordable print management software, we partnered with Print Anyway in Portugal to bring the most affordable print management software to the U.S. And, we saw the need for this. We launched it right before COVID, and even during the era of COVID, Landon just fell on the floor with the dog. I think it was okay. Even during the era of COVID, we sold thousands of licenses of this software. Michael, your thoughts on this?
Tons of thoughts on this. It's been interesting. It's been a definite change in direction from what we've done in the past, where traditionally we did sales, we did service, we did IT, but really selling as a key point and supporting a third-party application that integrates so tightly with everything we do has been very interesting, because it's been something that I can't think of another agent or reseller that is solely supporting a third-party solution that integrates like Print Anyway does. So it's been a very interesting journey so far, and you know, I definitely see a lot of interesting stuff coming in the next 3 years at least.
Yeah, I do too. And, you know, this has helped us win more deals with our clients. It's helped other partners win deals with their clients. It's just been a home run. In December of 2019, we acquired Leesburg Office Equipment. I love this picture. I think this was from a painting class that Sarah's group did. Sarah and I have been friends for many, many years, Natalie as well. And we were so excited to have her come and be part of JustTech. Just great. And for her employees to come on board, you know, we love each and every one of them. They've been great and very supportive for the company.
We just don't like her snake.
Just not her snake. Keep your snake at home. In January of 2020, we had our last large in-person meeting with our sales meeting in January of 2020. You know, much bigger team there as we continue to grow, add new employees, add new sales reps, bring on net new, and also bring on employees from acquisitions. This was a great meeting. I only made in person, I think, a day and a half. The other meetings I joined from my house because I was again sick. Remember, they thought I had strep throat, and I was sick. I continued to be sick weeks after this, and then tested positive for mono, and thought that was the worst part of the year. But then I didn't know what was coming later on with COVID. But a great time. In February of 2020, we won our first National Managed IT Award with the CRN 2020 Managed Service Provider, the top 500 list. Here you can see our IT leaders busy at work, can't even turn around for a picture, but it was a great recognition. In February of 2020, we did our Winchester remodel. As you can see here, really spruced up the office. Really spruced up the office. And you can see our growing team here and some new faces. You see Scott, you see Paul, who had come on board before that. Just a growing team. We also, Andy joined our team in March of last year. Has been a great help, a big part of the JustTech team. In March came COVID. You know, none of us wanted this or was ready for this, but it came, and you know, we dealt through it. We rose to the occasion. It's, you know, it hasn't always been easy. We've had to mask up, to, you know, to wash our hands and just stay safe as we've continued to deliver services to clients. You know, it's definitely the most impactful thing that's ever happened to the company, besides doing our work either remotely or on site and our service work. We've also had to help students, you know, and our children with virtual learning. Some of us still are now. And it's definitely been trying at times, you know, even trying to do calls like this when students are on virtual learning. In July of last year, we won Best Managed Print Services Collaboration with Print Anyway from the Managed Print Services Association of America. It was a great award. You know, they highlighted us and our uniqueness in bringing this new offering to the marketplace. In the picture on the right, you can see Michael's wife, Catherine. Michael took this picture. You can see his father, Gary, who does our equipment deliveries and does a fantastic job. You also see Joao from Print Anyway, who came from Portugal right before the pandemic began and worked with us as we rolled out this solution. In August of 2020, we received like the ultimate award. It was like the Holy Grail. We were ranked on the Inc. 5000 list in the 5,000 fastest growing companies in the United States. We placed 1442, so on the upper half. That was absolutely incredible. Also, we had Will and Neely join our team, working with Dustin and Fredericksburg, and they've been just great. Also, the Christmas picture from the Leesburg team that you can see here on the right. It was a brunch, I believe, or a lunch that you did, Sarah. I'm glad that even though we were in COVID, people could still find safe ways to get together. If you look at just the guys on the back, it sort of looks like a lineup photo, and Paul's sort of the rebel Anna. But I'm sure everyone's smiling under those masks. But good memories from the year. In January, we did our virtual sales kickoff meeting. It was the first time we weren't in person, but it was still impactful. We spent 4 hours together or so, half a day for 4 days, some gathered in small conference rooms or remotely. And, we just kept moving forward. We saw a need that we needed to simplify our help desk support and not have a print help desk, an IT help desk, an app help desk, but have one managed services help desk, because many clients have all of our services and we don't want to bounce them around. So we launched our enhanced managed services help desk to provide managed print support, app support, cloud fax support, managed IT support, Xerox install support, and print anyway support. And, Duran, Matt, Lamont, Latrell have been incredible. We're still working in some areas on training, but they're teaching me stuff. Lamont was teaching me something today that I was unaware of. We're really excited for this. And now in May of 2021, 15 years, what an incredible ride from being one company in the far right blue, a small company, to really growing there and becoming a larger company regionally. 15 years. We now have close to 70 team members. We have over 3,000 clients. We have close to 4,000 printing devices making 15 million impressions a month. We have hundreds of managed IT clients, 50 or so cloud fax clients, and growing. We've really turned into a services company that's continued to sell more Xerox products as we grow. We're one of Xerox's top 10 partners in the U.S. and we keep moving forward. It's been really incredible to watch our growth. Besides the professional success, I also like to look at the personal highlights. These things mean a lot to me. Watching people, make connections, grow, get married, get engaged, grow with their families, sharing these moments. It's been incredible. And then all the babies, and I left off two on here, I believe, but there's been a lot of JustTech babies and grandbabies, that we've got to share these moments with each other, and it's been really wonderful. Most of this presentation, I was looking backward. I'm not one who usually does that. I like to look forward. And moving forward, we're not stopping. It's been 15 years, but there's a lot of pent-up demand. There were a lot of things that were on hold for us and our clients due to COVID. We're expecting a huge rest of the second quarter and second half of the year with Xerox sales and with IT sales. We have a new office to accommodate growth in Morgantown in June. We have the new acquisition of Atlantic office and Laser. They go live June 1st. We picked up 2 additional white space territories from Xerox. We have a new distribution center opening sometime later this year to provide equipment for all of our areas. We have 9 open sales positions, 6 customer territories, 3 new business that we're going to fill by the end of the year. And you can see the blue on the map, because of all these things, has gotten greater. We're growing smart in how we can stay within our existing regions, but grow all around them. A lot of great things. So, I just want to say thank you. It's been the honor of my life to serve as your leader. And as we've went through this, it hasn't always been easy, but geez, what a ride. And how much growth from a company our first year, I think our revenues were $400,000 to a company where this year they'll be 14 to 15 million. It's been an incredible ride, incredible journey. I thank all of you for being part of it. We couldn't have been here without you. I always tell people we're only great because, you know, I work with people that are smarter than me, the smartest people I know. And thank you. I appreciate it. And I don't know if I'll be with you in another 15 years. I don't know. Lucas might take it over. I don't know. I don't know if I'll be with you in 10 years. Since he's already telling people he owns the company. But you know, it's been great. We're going to keep growing. We're going to keep moving forward. You know, we still have some headwinds from COVID and some challenges with constraints and things, but we're getting through it. And, you know, we've been through a lot and grown throughout all of it. So thank you all. Thank you. I know we have, yeah, I know we may have some people that may want to say something. I know we have some Xerox friends on the call as well. I believe Wilson wanted to say something. I believe he's on the phone. So please, if you have anything to share.
Hey, Josh, it is Wilson. How are you?
Hey, how are you? Thanks for joining.
Hey, listen, just thanks for inviting me. Incredible story. And as I was looking through the slides, every slide had people on them. And I just love that, which, you know, I think that's really what you built is something all about people. And if you take care of your people, they'll take care of you. And I just think it's fantastic. One, I just want to thank you and the JustTech team for being an incredible partner, being an incredible company. You guys managed through the pandemic, overcame, you know, a lot of adversity and did it with grace, did it with performance. And we really appreciate that at Xerox. You know, the saying that I've always had is the leader stirs the drink. And I told my teams in the past that the team is a direct reflection of you. And if the team has high expectations, it's probably because the leader has high expectations. And if the team is ethical, it's probably because the leader is ethical. And if the team is engaged, it's probably because the leader is engaged. And if the team is positive, it's probably because the leader is positive. And Josh, you know, in my brief time with you, I haven't spent 15 years. You know, Xerox years are like dog years, so maybe 7 years. But the year that we've spent together, I'm immensely impressed. And I know you guys are used to him and you've been with him for a while, but he's pretty special. And we know that inside of Xerox. We know that great leaders surround themselves with great people. And I think it's obvious that that's what Josh has done. There's no way that you guys get through what you've gone through and grown the way you've grown without significant employees on board that have skill and are vested in what you're doing. And I think everyone should know that, you know, in Xerox, you saw Josh in every corner of the world selling his apps. I love it. And in nice hotel rooms, nicer than I've been in. And I think I've stayed in the room where your kids have thrown up. I complained about it. But Josh, you're well known inside of Xerox. And sometimes when Xerox does things, one of the first questions the folks at Xerox senior management will ask is, what will Josh think? And I think that's a tribute to the credibility you have inside of the Xerox organization. So one, I don't want to monopolize all the time, but I did want to say you're incredibly special. I get to see all the partners around the country. I've been around the dealer community for quite some time, and I'm excited to watch this thing grow. It looks like a lot of fun, and I'm filling out an application online for one of the 9 territories. So Josh, a lot of opportunity out there. You're seizing it. The team is seizing it. Don't stop, all right? We really appreciate it. 15 years, 15 more. And I'm sure your son and your dad will continue to run the show there. Thanks, Josh.
There you go. Thank you, Wilson. Appreciate the kind words. Yeah, thank you.
Can I jump in? It's Margie.
Sure.
I just want everybody to know that I think Josh is the epitome of what success is. 15 years ago, he had the knowledge and the foresight to bring us to where we are today. We had a lot of growth and a lot of challenge during that time, and we're still growing. And I wouldn't have wanted to go through it with anybody else. I hope I'll be here to see another 15 years. But Josh and Natalie and their extended families are the most kind and family-oriented people that you'll ever meet. I just want to thank you for bringing me on this exciting journey with you.
Oh, thank you, Margie.
Love you, Margie.
Yes, you're never
Love you
leaving
guys
us.
too. Never.
Hey, Josh, it's Steve. I'd like to say something to you too.
Yeah.
Knowing where you and Margie and Travis and I came from, and being there at the very beginning, even before it started, in the planning phases, I knew you were going to be successful because I knew who you were as a person. And it shows. It shows in your success today. And there's no reason to believe that success won't continue into tomorrow and then for the next 15 years or 30 years. And I want to say thank you for the time that you gave me. I really wish I could be part of your team. My situation was difficult. I had to make some tough choices and leave, but I don't regret it. But in a way, I do regret not being there for you and with you through all your successes. And I'm very proud of you and what you've accomplished, you and Natalie, and your entire team. Way to go, guys. You show true success.
Thank you, Steve. Thank you. Thank you very much. And if we ever open an office in Florida, I'll be knocking on your door. But I don't know, Clay may have something to say about how we're going to cover it from a service standpoint. But
I'll probably be living there if you open something in Florida. So.
But thank you, Steve.
Yeah, Josh, this is Clay. Yeah. That's what we need. Pick up some more states. But yeah, so I wanted to echo what Margie said. I've worked, with 28 years at Xerox for coming here, and I knew you, before you even started the company. But I just wanted to echo that, you are the best person I've ever worked for or with. You're very family oriented. You had me take a leap of faith when there was 7 people working at Southern Solutions to leave a corporation I'd worked at 28 years, but I don't regret a minute of it. And it's still a family company, even with 60 plus employees. And so I don't know if I'm going to be here another 15, but anyway.
You're not.
But anyway, I'm looking forward to where we're headed, and so thanks for everything that you do. You are a very kind person and always positive, and that is reflected in how JustTech does business. So here's to you.
Yeah, thank you, Clay. I remember I remember when we talked in the office. It wasn't really an interview because I'd known you already, and we talked in the office, and you said, "Are you sure? I'll be your 8th employee. I just want to make sure. Like, I'm leaving a corporate job. Are you sure everything's okay?" I'm like, "It'll be fine." It hasn't always been smooth, but it's been, we've managed our money wisely. We've never missed a payroll. We've continued to grow. So yeah.
Hey, Josh.
Yes.
Hey, this is Paul here. Paul Aline
Hey.
from Xerox. Thanks for having me to the call. For those of you who don't know me, I'm one of Josh's 2 channel business managers, and we've been supporting JustTech since February of this year. And, I sat here, Josh, thinking, what could I say on this call, to you and to your team? And to be honest, after listening to this presentation, I could probably talk for an hour. I put down some key points where, I had professional, driven, focused, innovative, team-oriented, and all those things are true. But what I really see here is a family. You're growing your own families through the success that JustTech is providing you with financially. You're a family within the company, all leaning on one another and growing. And it really is wonderful to see. And I feel honored to support you and your team, and I look forward to doing so for the rest of the year. and continue to challenge one another and pick one another up and to innovate and lead where you can. And we're here to help. Thanks a lot, and I look forward to continuing the journey with you.
Thank you, Paul.
Yeah,
Appreciate
and well
it.
said, Paul. You beat me off mute there. It's Bill Howell, and I won't carry on. And what was said from Wilson and Paul and the employees, I agree with everything. It's amazing and tremendous having supported Southern Solutions in the past, seeing Just Tech from afar and all the growth. It's really amazing to come back and to be a part of it. So congratulations. Thank you for including us in this event, and we look forward to supporting and helping you as we can and continue to success to everyone.
Thank you, Bill. Yeah, we've known each other for a long time. Yeah, when we worked together the first time, we were very small, one of the smallest silver partners, and we've grown a lot through the years. Thank you.
You bet. Yeah, amazing.
Hey, Josh, it's Danielle Fletcher.
Hey, Danielle.
Speaking about going way back, I remember 25-year-old Josh and us looking at each other thinking, wow, I think this kid has just big dreams, and look at us today. Those big dreams really came true, and it's just, I couldn't be prouder. And thinking more highly of anyone, Josh, you just are doing such amazing things. And I love how much you all put up on social media and let us feel a little bit of your family. Happy birthday, Frank Staggs, by the way. Love that. And I love that you do all that. So thanks for everything that you do. And we hope you're here in 15 years because we'll continue to love working with you.
Yeah, Danielle, I feel the same way. We've worked here all 15. And I remember from the beginning, it was a challenge at first being so young, but you were always so nice to me and always so supportive of the journey, and thank you.
Hey, Josh and team, it's Catherine Brunn here. For those of you that don't know me, I'm the National Sales Operations Manager, work closely with Danielle and Wilson and the team, and thought I'd just hop on the Xerox train here for just a moment. First off, I connect with Josh personally because we're both big fans of baseball, and that's really hard to find in this industry. You'll see I've worn my Blue Jays cap specifically for this event, Josh, the one honoring, females and breast cancer. But, everybody wants to talk basketball and hockey and football, and Josh and I always have a great time talking baseball, and I'm always excited to hear about what his sons are doing in their little leagues and how supportive he is of his two boys. Danielle talked about this young man who had a dream, and I think that made me think about Walt Disney. There's a quote from Walt Disney that says, if you can dream it, you can do it. And Paul mentioned the word creative, and definitely this team on the call has been very creative and very out of the box thinkers and beyond the box thinkers, and that's contributed to where you all are today. And I think about something Wilson said as well, which was senior leadership asks, what will Josh think? And it's so true, right? It's absolutely true. And, we look to Josh very often because he's a good, solid voice of the partner community, voice of reason, level-headed, always positive, always looking for a solution. He's always got an idea of how to solve the problem, not just tell us that there's a problem. And for all those reasons, Josh, I just have tremendous amount of respect for you. And congratulations on 15 years. Here's to 15 years, more to come. And congratulations to all the team at Just Tech. Way to go.
Thank you. Thank you. I greatly appreciate, Catherine, your support. Thank you. Sarah, I kind of skipped over you when I talked about the acquisition of Leesburg. What do you think? It's, you haven't seen things not in COVID. We acquired you all in COVID hit. But what do you think so far about being part of Just Tech?
Well, I know I've told you a million times. It was the best thing that I could have done, not just for myself and my employees, but the customers. But I will say, seeing all these pictures, I am so jealous because we have not gotten to the experience, the teams and all of that. But
yeah,
looking forward to doing that in the future. And by the way, you guys haven't been online, so we still need to do that. Just FYI.
Yes, sounds good.
It's been great.
Mike, what do you all think? I mean, Did you think this is where we would end up after 15 years?
I'll go first. No, so coming on board with you, it was definitely experience. I got to kind of take a different look at how me as a traditional IT guy looked at printing. You ask any IT guy what they think, and they hate printing. So I got to see a different side to it, and it's been interesting. We've had a lot of success. We've built great teams here. I think that says a lot to leadership, the character of everybody that's here. And yeah, we're looking to another 15 more.
Absolutely.
Okay, I'll go. I promised Jerry I wouldn't swear because he said he'd cut me off with the mic. That's right, Jerry. Well, I know. We discussed this. I promised I wouldn't talk about the outtakes of videos that I did shoot, including the one we saw. There were some really good outtakes. Clay, you know what I'm talking about, especially at ASCII that day.
I do.
Y'all think I'm dead now. I was much worse. I tell you, man, I was 27 years old in 2008 when I applied with Josh. And it was a rather weird interview process.
Not because of me.
It was because of me. I also had 2 interviews the same day. One was National Institute of Health in Bethesda, and the other was with Josh. Because I wasn't working at the time, so it was pretty interesting. And, it took me quite a while to really get up to speed. But, I mean, within the first year, we were already starting talking about doing managed IT services and growing out. Because, I mean, the truth was, when I started, Josh just needed an analyst who honestly was just there in case. I mean, we had to do something that was more than just there in case, because by that time it became 2009. The company's losing money. I even offered to take a pay cut. Josh knows that.
You did.
We knew how tight it was. So we had to diversify and fast, which is where M&S comes from. And then just doing more stuff. And, we just had to really get good at what we do. And have other people take a leap of faith on what we were doing. And the apps thing was a complete surprise. I want to thank every one of those large companies that went to Xerox's app. What do they call that thing? Whatever it was, the app training thing. Because every one of them failed to deliver anything substantial within the first 6 months. The only reason we got as big as we did is the one company Xerox was betting the farm on at the time couldn't deliver anything within 4 months, Josh? They asked you to jump in to go to New York and show what we had been working on internally, just to show something. And that not only did it put us on the map, it put us as a leader at the time. And we were able to parlay that with the firmware thing. Once we figured out how to do firmware, we were off to the races. And that's how the apps and all that stuff happened. So it's been a really wild ride. And we've got quite a few years to go with finishing out some of the stuff that I have planned out. And I'm excited about that. And then, honestly, everyone's talking about 15 more. I hope to be 10 years retired. So there it is. At 15,
I'm with you, Mike. I'm with you, brother.
I know. So there you go. I'm going in 10. Who else is coming?
In 2014, late 2014, after the Simple at Work, it was the fall, after we got involved in apps and we were making apps, and partners wanted to license our apps, like our Support Connect, to request service and swaps. We hadn't even thought about it. So we started licensing apps. And I didn't touch on this memory. I mean, there's been so many moments. But Xerox asked me to come up to speak to copier press people about what we were doing with apps. And I was so scared. I was so nervous because I didn't do as much public speaking as I do now. Now I can give presentations without, reviewing much notes anytime. But I was so nervous. I think I practiced 100 times my talk track with Michael, and then probably another 100 times in the hotel room before I went in. I tried to talk Xerox into letting me do a video, and they were like, you're going to stand there while video plays. I'm like, I don't do public speaking a lot, but you know, getting involved in that and traveling the world and growing as a company and speaking at a lot of events, I've gotten a lot better with public speaking. But that is another moment, Michael, that you reminded me of when I went to New York. Jerry, I don't want us to go too long, but Jerry, what are your thoughts on the last 5 years you've been with us?
Hey, Josh, Michael is completely right. He called me and I said, hey, for this meeting today, I want you to refrain from using any curse words. If you do, I'm going to hit that mute button real fast. He said, Jerry, fine. So the past 5 years, I've been here for 5 years. I think you bumped me up from, I wasn't the 10th employee. I think I was the 14th employee. But I was the 14th, and since then we have grown to over 63 employees now. And in that time, I've had so many different roles, and I think you really took a chance with me, and I really appreciate you taking that chance and giving me the opportunity, and then continuing to challenge me throughout the whole time. And you've been a great mentor, so I'm looking forward to another 15 years. I think I got another 15 in me.
Yes, sure. You've been a huge asset to the company and a huge part of our growth, and we appreciate everything you do, Jerry. Thank you. You know, Dad, something that I don't know, I've shared with some people, I think I've shared on a sales meeting, I haven't shared with everyone, is that when we first started the company, I said I was going to use the profits and open a restaurant. Because I didn't know how long the sales agency thing would last, and I wanted to start a restaurant. I remember you told me I was crazy. You were like, restaurants don't make it. Like, what are you thinking? And I'm like, no, I'm going to start a restaurant. I never thought that I would, or that we would together grow a sales agency into something so much more and so much larger, and a large Xerox partner and also a large services partner. Dad, what do you think?
Yeah, I remember those early days in the phone calls. Some days you were really up, and some days you were like talk me down type days. But yeah, I remember you wanted to start a restaurant, and I was wondering about diversifying, into the restaurant business. But it's been fun to sit back and watch you grow the business. And all these people that are wanting to leave, maybe they can join Landon's theory that he wants to work for JustTech, but he wants to be part-time like Papa. So maybe we con them all into being part-time like I am, right?
That's what Landon says. He thinks everything through. He says he's going to be part-time like Papa. Thank you, Dad, and thanks for everything. Does anyone else want to say anything? We can hang on for a little bit. Yes, Lucas, you can say something.
The more time you work, the more money you earn.
Okay, that's it. A great parable there.
Hey, Josh, this is Jenny.
Oh, Lord.
Nope, go ahead.
Oh, hey, I just like to say I worked in trades about everything from construction to picking sewers apart. But and I've worked for a lot of different business owners, and Josh is by far the most just all around involved in paying attention to what's going on throughout his business. When it comes to people having a suggestion or, you know what I mean, seeing something pop through on an email and just a thought process of how I can make it better. It's always a look at what's next and how can we become more efficient and better. And that's something that's really impressed me. I've worked for 6, 7, probably 8 different people that all in their own businesses, and never have I seen anybody on top of everything going on in their business, much less with 63 employees. So I know I'm just young buck over here, but thoroughly impressed and extremely glad to be working for you.
Thanks, Will. We're glad to have you. Jenny, just a second.
Yeah. Hi, Josh. Thank you. I'll add some flavor in here for our MPS team. First off, what an amazing presentation and collection of historical moments. And, I see so many faces, people that I've met through MPS consultant training and all the other training, that we've offered. So good to just learn all of this about all of you. But I just wanted to say, recognition comes in a lot of forms for all of us personally and professionally. And, professionally, it can be the size of your company, your growth, your big business wins, whatever those things are. But for me, really meaningful recognition comes from your peers. You know, you have really reached the status of paragon really in your business world, where your peers listen, they really listen, and they model themselves after you. When you talk, they want to hear more. I mean, I've witnessed it over and over again, and you and your entire team, your approach to your business is just an absolute model of excellence, really. You're almost peerless. And so I just wanted to say that, you know, all of you address your colleagues, your challenges, your successes, your frustrations, all with grace, and you lead by example. And clearly that's why you've had the growth, you've had the success. It's why you're celebrating 15 years now. And I just wanted to say congratulations to you, your family, your business family, and thank you for being a part of our Xerox family. And while I don't eat a whole lot of cake, I would love to know when you're cutting the cake and if it's in the freezer and you can, you know, ship me some. That was beautiful.
But yeah, he did a great job with that cake. Great job. Thank you, Heath, on cake. Thank you for the kind words, Jenny, and your partnership. What do you have to say?
Absolutely.
Why are you standing there with giant scissors?
Oh, why am I standing there with giant scissors? Well, this was a little over 5 years ago when we moved into the La Plata office and we had a ribbon cut.
You can just cut that ribbon with small scissors.
I know, but it's just symbolic to have big scissors, you know, just for a good picture.
That's what you need giant scissors for. Why don't you use that for paper?
You would use that big for paper.
Cut your nails.
Yeah. Anybody else before we close it out? All righty. Well, thank you all for joining, our business partners for their support, our team members, that's what I call our employees, for their dedication every day. 15 years, outstanding. I saved some videos and some stories that I'll share on the 20. Because it was getting to be a lot of stuff already. But, you know, just with the events on the second half of this year, we're going to have a lot of stuff to celebrate on our 20th anniversary. So thank you for everything. Thank you for celebrating 15. Thanks for hanging with us. Cheers. 15. Cheers.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Woo, awesome.
Thank you. Congrats, Josh.
Thanks, Josh.
Congratulations.